investigators work to bring more attention to her case. Our reporter Caroline Balchunas has their message tonight.
Who killed Mary Hayre?
We're here to support the Hayre family.
It's a question North Charleston Police are still trying to answer.
Her life ended right where we were standing.
The 74-year-old was found shot to death on February 27th at the Pinecrest Apartment complex.
She was just out here picking up a cell phone. Her grandson had a sleepover the night before and left his cell phone.
Family members joined police earlier today, calling on the community for help.
She was the glue that literally kept us together, so you can imagine what happens when you lose the glue.
They believe someone out there knows who is responsible.
And we know
Hayre was killed at 1:45 on a sunny Saturday afternoon.
We know there were kids out here playing. There were multiple people out here when this occurred.
There's too many windows facing this one spot. Too much for someone to not have seen something.
A suspect was arrested and charged in connection to Hayre's murder back in March. But those charges were dropped in April after police say some additional evidence came through.
It was a kick in the face.
Both family and police pleading for information that will finally help solve this case.
I think someone is out there that maybe we haven't spoke to, or maybe we did speak to and they just were afraid to give us the information. They can be anonymous, okay? But we're missing a crucial piece of information that's out there. We just need the community to help us.
Keep us in your hearts and your minds and your thoughts and your prayers. I know one day something will come of this. I don't know when. We can only hope soon.
Working for you, Caroline Balchunas, ABC News 4.
South Carolina, one of the top states in the nation for men killing women. Why can't lawmakers just change the law? Somerville attorney and House Judiciary Committee Chairman Chris Murphy says it's a complicated process.
As far as individual cases and charging decisions as to what case goes in front of a judge based on a particular set of facts, that is up to the solicitor in charge of the case.
In defense, Solicitor Scarlett Wilson wants you to remember the General Assembly makes the laws solicitors prosecute. Murphy agrees some laws can be tweaked and that potentially could make stricter sentencing. Tweaks including reclassifying crimes as nonviolent, violent, serious, and most serious.
In order to change the Constitution, the General Assembly would have to vote to amend the Constitution. Okay, the House and the Senate and the governor agreed. It would then go to the people, and then they would have to vote to amend the Constitution. It's not an easy feat.
Domestic violence help experts feel it's a feat that needs attention. A 2020 report from the Violence Policy Center found South Carolina ranks 11th in the nation in the rate of women murdered by men. And the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division statistics show domestic violence incidents and murders from 2018 to 2019 went up.
You know, we need to start doing something differently than what we've been doing, and it can't just all be about response in crisis. That's an important part, but it can't be everything that we do.
Sarah Barber with the South Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault is asking lawmakers to find funding for staff and programs that teach children and teenagers about domestic violence, how to identify if they're victims or perpetrators. Signs, she says, include if someone is trying to separate you from your friends and family, constantly wanting to know where you are and what you're doing, also controlling your finances.
I think, you know, just putting everybody in jail for the longest time possible is not going to help us in the long run fix this.
I never imagined in a million years that I would have to bury my child.
As of now, there's no simple fix to a problem that's not only taking lives, but leaving families with a void.
He took a part of me, part of my heart. All I had was one. God gave me one daughter, and she's gone forever.
Now, getting out of an unsafe relationship safely is obviously not an easy thing to do, but advocates say you should still reach out for help, starting with these resources. Calling My Sister's House, National Domestic Violence Hotline, Hopeful Horizons or call 911. And we have these resources posted to abcnews4.com.
What will it take to get schools up and running? That's a challenge right now as COVID rates jump in our state. Our Ann Emerson finds out what kids and teachers can expect next week when they go back to class in Charleston County. Ann?
Well, with 1 week before school starts, the world already looks like a very different place than we were expecting for this new school year. We're being told that masks are going to be strongly suggested. They're saying that COVID restrictions are going to be in place, and quarantining, yes, it's a thing again.
We're at a different place with COVID than we hoped we would be.
And not in a good way. Plexiglass is back on the table, so is social distancing and contact tracing.
We know that 3 feet of distance between student desks is now sufficient. Parents will have the option about whether their children wear masks, but we certainly strongly recommend mask wearing.
Masks are required in the nurse's office, on buses, and in athletic trainer facilities. And if the COVID rate is too high at a school, CCSD can shut down classrooms and schools if need be, just like it did last year.
And we likely will have to shut some down. I mean, we just need to be realistic. COVID's going to be with us for a while. We'll use every tool at our disposal to deal with it. But our job is to serve children safely and effectively.
She says the district is focused on opening safely.
We will not get complacent. We will not relax all the other safety protocols, and that we will monitor the data very, very closely. If we feel some other action is necessary, our board will gather and consider it.
And be prepared is what we're hearing. You know, if your child is quarantined, teachers are not being asked to teach virtually and in person at the same time, which means that your child may be bringing home work to work independently, at least at the beginning of this year, if this happens. Working for you, Ann Emerson, ABC News 4.
And thank you. Superintendent says teachers also worried about working from home and quarantining. She says the district will make a decision about paying teachers during quarantine by the end of August.